back. I know it's been a while since I've done a vlog, and really that's because I've had, honestly, a very productive summer for me. It's been a cool summer for us here in Kern County. We've only had probably a dozen days in the triple digits out here, and when the summer is like that, I can actually come outside and get things done. I can't tolerate the heat very well, so when it's nice outside, I get things done. And it hasn't really been productive because I've raised a big garden or anything like that. I've just been able to get out and clean up the property and clean up my trees. I have had success with my first herb garden, and I'll cover that in just a little bit. But anyway, so I wanted to do this vlog to update you on what's going on, and to give you what we're looking at for the fall here. So anyway, I will start with our trees. When I left off with the previous vlogs, I had showed you how excited I was that we had fruit growing on our trees for the very first time. So, an update on that. We got cherries on our cherry tree. Actually on both cherry trees, but the cherries on the largest cherry tree, which is this one right here, they never really came to maturity. They never fully developed, and the birds and bugs got to them before we actually got to have any of them. But the cherries on our little cherry tree, our dwarf, this one, we actually got to eat, and they were amazing. I'm so happy we actually got to partake of fruit from our fruit trees. The third tree that we had fruit on was our pear tree. But unfortunately, the fruit never got any bigger than, oh, they're pretty small, and I'll point them out to you. So here, there's the pears, and that's the size they've stayed. They've never got any bigger, and I don't know why. I'm not sure. I just need to do more research and figure that out. If you happen to know, please comment and let me know. I don't know if we just didn't have enough fertilizer or enough water. And water is something we'll talk about. I'm going to talk to you about here in a little while, but that very well could be what the issue was. The fourth tree that I was super excited about was our apple tree. It had blossoms, and they actually stayed. They weren't blown off by the wind. And so I was really hopeful that we were going to have apples on this tree. But in the end, the blossoms did end up being blown off in the wind, and no fruit grew on the tree. But it's still a pretty young tree, so I'm hoping that maybe next year we'll actually get some. And then we had two trees out in our orchard out here, two fruit trees that made it through the winter, that actually survived. One is a mandarin orange tree, and one is a lime tree. And they survived, and they're doing very well. We ended up being able to keep the squirrels from destroying them. Our mandarin orange tree actually has fruit on it. The fruit is getting bigger. It looks like we're actually going to get some mandarin oranges on it this fall. I'm so excited. about that. I know my son is too. He really loves mandarin oranges. So I will show you those. There's one. There's one. There's one. So that's about the size, and they have been growing. They haven't been stunted. They've been progressing, and the tree looks pretty good. Then we have our little lime tree, which I really had to battle the squirrels with this one. I put this, you know, the tree trunk protector on it, but the tree is so short, the squirrels were still able to get up, and it didn't matter if the trunk protector was there or not. And they had done a lot of damage, as you can see right through there. That's the old damage. So I ended up taking this netting right here, this green netting, and just putting it over the tree and tucking it in, and then the tree just took off and started growing, and it became too big for the net. So I put up this little structure here and put net around it, bird net, and secured it with these bricks. And so far, it has kept the squirrels out. So the limes that had started to develop on this tree did not make it through the squirrels, the first attack by the squirrels, but the tree itself has made it, which makes me happy. So I'm expecting it to produce limes next year. So now an update on our horses. And before I go into an update on the horses, we ended up rehoming our burros. A friend of mine contacted me, and a lady she knew had lost her burro, which was her baby. She wasn't a baby, she was 21 years old, but the woman had raised this burro from a baby, and her heart was broken. So we went ahead and rehomed the 2 burros with her, and she is just delighted. We just didn't spend the time with them that they needed. They needed a lot of extra time because they were wild born, and this woman has done wonders with the burros already. So they are gone. They are in new homes. So we are left with Serenity and Dolly and Poppy. So I will turn the camera around and give you a little update on all of them. So Serenity is back from training. She was trained, but she is not broke, which basically, as explained to me by the trainer, she just has too much wild in her. She keeps reverting back to when she was in the wild, so she's not really safe to ride. Only somebody as experienced as the trainer could actually ride her, and he didn't even really want to. But she's trained in every which way that he trained her, just not broke. So that's a little bit of a bummer. We were really hoping that we'd be able to ride her, and of course she's not going to turn around. She's going to keep her backside to me. So anyway, that's the story with Serenity. Then we have Dolly, and Dolly's doing great. My son Riley absolutely loves to ride her. Hi, Dolly. Hello. Hello. She's a sweetheart. Then we have Poppy, our newest addition. Poppy was also rescued by my friend from a slaughterhouse. And so I'm now buying her from my friend. So we have Poppy and Dolly were both rescued from slaughterhouses by my friend. And they have turned out to be really, really good horses. Very sweet, loving, healthy, Poppy is green broke, but my husband's been able to work with her and she's doing much better already. So that's our little horse update. One thing that I'm really excited about is that we finally have moved the missile crates that we used to have out there by our greenhouse. We have finally moved them into what is going to be the animal garden. And that's exciting for me because that is a step in the direction that I want to go. Because I'd really like to grow most of the feed for at least the chickens, and also a lot for the goats in this yard. So the missile crates are moved in here, and now it's just I'm compiling a list of things that I can start growing now, even though that it's the end of summer, things that I can grow here in the fall and winter to feed the animals to help with the cost of feed. So this is where we're at with the animal garden. Also, this fall we plan to start planting trees along this fence line and around the corner. Trees like the fruited mulberry and willow trees, things that, of course, the chickens can eat the fruit from the mulberry trees. The goats will like the leaves from trees like the willow, things like that. They'll provide shade, they'll make the place look nicer, plus they will act as a way of feeding the animals. So this was a little surprise to me. I have never had a broody hen. And surprisingly, I ended up having a hen who decided she just wants to be a mama. So in June, she ended up being mama to 2 little chicks. One ended up being a rooster and one is a little hen, and I will turn the camera around and show you them, and then I'm going to show you her new little brood of babies, which again she is mother to 2. So I will turn the camera around and show you the older babies and then the younger. So there are her first 2 little chicks. Well, they're not chicks anymore. There's the rooster. There's the little hen. And he crows, by the way, and it's hilarious because he only does half of a crow. And then over here, we've got her newest little bunch. Hopefully she'll let me see them. Oh, she's hiding in there. Let me see if I can get a closer shot. Oh. Now, one of the chicks looks like it has a hurt wing, and I think Mama may have smashed it. She freaked out yesterday when I went to put her water in there, and I think she may have hurt it. So I am probably going to have to come out here in probably the next couple of days and see if I can figure out what to do. If you know what to do about a chick with a hurt wing, let me know in the comments below, please, because I definitely need to know how to fix that. So now for our herbs. I really didn't get a whole lot planted, and I haven't harvested a whole lot, but I'm actually very pleased with how this went this summer, mainly because I just do not have a green thumb. And so I really buckled down, and I've been studying herbs and what to do if something goes wrong, and what to do about pests and mold and all this everything else that could happen. The different soils, the different amount of watering. This is all a mystery to me because, like I said, I do not have a green thumb. So, but I really want to. So, I will show you what happened with that little tin of herbs that I showed you in the last vlog. Here is one of those garden boxes that my husband and I built. And by the way, if you would like to see a vlog on how to build these boxes and these covers, which we built to go over top, let me know and I will do a vlog on that, because we are going to make some more boxes. But this is the basil that I planted. Now, I know you can see that some of this has gone to flower, and I did that on purpose. I'm not letting this one over here. I'm keeping that one from flowering, but this one I'm letting go because I'm hoping that it will reseed and I will have more plants in the spring. But these covers are wonderful. They've really done a great job keeping the cats out of the box, which was a main concern for me. They work in most cases. The drawback is that they're very heavy and they're hard for me to move. Let's see, how long has it been now? 6 years ago, back in 2012, I crushed my left wrist and it took a year to heal. It's still not wonderful. I don't have 100% use of it. So lifting things like this, big, awkward, bulky things is really hard for me. I want to be able to come out here without calling my husband or one of my boys to come out and help me move the top so that I can harvest or take care of the plants. So what we did is we took off, this one you can see does not have the screen right here. We took that off because we are constructing doors that I can easily open and get in and do what I need to do in the box. In here this is the mint plant that my daughter had given me. It was in the little pot that I had shown you. It was way bigger than this. I cut it down because it developed rust. I think part of that was due to the fact that it didn't have enough air circulation. So honestly, besides the fact that the cats get in here every once in a while and lay down, it is actually growing back healthier now. And I'm wondering if having the front of this off isn't helping. That may just be my imagination. I don't know. But I figured that if we got rust again, that maybe piling the dirt up higher, putting the soil up higher and having the plant higher would increase the circulation and help prevent rust. So I'm hoping. But this plant looks really healthy. Back to the basil really fast. The one thing that I had issue with, and I'm having it again right now, is with the white flies. I think that's what they're called, the white flies. But I had originally had a yellow sticky trap hanging from here, and that seemed to really do the trick. The yellow sticky trap got covered in dust during one of the storms. I bought some neem oil spray, and I need to get out here and spray it, and hopefully that will help. But if not, I'm going to put some more sticky traps, yellow sticky traps inside here to help catch those flies and prevent them from damaging my basil plant. This right here is my bay tree. Yeah, it didn't always look so sad. It was prettier before, but as you can see, it has new growth and it is actually coming back. I was afraid when I brought this here that it wouldn't work because it can get so hot here. And at first I thought that's what the problem was, but now then I started looking at it a little closer and I saw that it had bugs on it. And so I sprayed it all down with the neem oil, and none of this made it. This is all dead, but it has new growth and nice leaves on it. So I'm hoping that if I keep it sprayed with the neem oil, it'll keep the bugs away, and I need to repot it. And I think that'll make it a little happier as well. But I have a big half barrel in the back that I need to bring up here, and I'm going to have help bringing it because it's full of dirt, which I need to dump. So, other than that, the tree, I mean, obviously the leaves are coming back, it's looking better, so I'm hoping that's a good sign and that it's going to make it. My lemon thyme, doing great. English thyme, not so much, because I could not keep a hen out of it. A little white hen. All she wants to do is knock over this pot. I finally gave up on it. I'm going to have to plant it somewhere else. I don't know why she chose that one of all the plants. But that's the one she wanted to jump on, jump into, pick through, and eventually killed it. My rosemary did not make it. It was fine until I replanted it, and then it too died. Which really upsets me. It upsets me when these plants die because I really want to be good at this. But I try to comfort myself in the fact that I'm able to keep these others alive. I'm able to learn how to troubleshoot and fix the problems, and that comforts me and helps me to keep going because I've wanted to give up several times. There's my oregano. It really hasn't done much. I keep chasing a cat out of this pot. It obviously needs to be covered, but I really don't think that's the problem. I just think it's not in a good area. I think I'm going to have to possibly move it to the back patio. It just seemed to be growing really well in my kitchen window, and it got the afternoon light. So I'm thinking maybe in the back patio with the afternoon light, it might do better. I mean, it's not dead. It just hasn't grown much. And I know that some herbs don't grow very quickly, and that's a thing, but I think it should have grown a little more than what it has. My lavender was doing fabulously. I replanted it. It died back a little bit, but again, new growth. So and there's a new little lavender flower. So I think it's going to be just fine. I need to come do some pruning, I think. Get rid of some of the dead stuff. But, yeah, came back. Happy about that. Then I have a new little peppermint plant over here that I planted. It again, like the other mint, it is covered in rust. But I'm going to try something else. I read online that somebody tried spraying neem oil on it, and it actually made the rust go away. So I'm going to try that instead of cutting this way back like I did my other one. I'm going to try that neem oil and see if that will get rid of the rust. Okay, just a short walk, and if the dogs start barking like crazy, I'm going to have to turn off the camera until they stop. But I put my parsley over here, and it seems to be growing very well over here. There's the curly parsley and the regular flat leaf. The only problem is this has little white spots all over it, so I'm going to have to look that up, find out what is going on with that, and see if I can get rid of it. But other than that, both of them have done very well, and I have used both my parsley and my basil and the rosemary before it died in my cooking, which was very satisfying to me to be able to actually use something I grew in my cooking. So what's next for fall? The first thing that I want to do is build a stanchion for the goats. I've got them trained now to where they will follow the target, the float target that we did the vlogs on. They happily take snacks from me to touch their nose to the target. I can get them to go up on rocks, on logs, on everything else. So I know I can get them up on a stanchion. So I want, my husband and I are going to build a stanchion for the goats, start training them to get up there. And I'm going to use that for taking care of their hoofs. And then I'm going to look into breeding the goats. But I have to take things one step at a time. So the stanchion is the goal for this fall, is building the stanchion and training the goats to get up on it. Okay, the other thing that we have planned for this fall is, like I said earlier, I do plan to plant trees. start planting them down the fence line and around where the animals are over there, the chickens, the goats, etc., so that we can start getting some. We'll have shade for next summer. It will start helping to provide food for the animals and add aesthetically to the property. And we are going to begin hopefully planting plants that will grow here in the fall and be a winter harvest. I plan on planting grasses, vines, berry vines, vegetables, flowers, all things that are edible for chickens, turkeys, and ducks in the one yard. And then I think I'm going to do things that the goats can eat in their yard. Maybe a little overlap on the fence line that's in between their two pens. So that is another thing that I plan to do this fall. We are going to start building some more garden boxes. I may do some of the herbs that will grow here in the fall and winter, add those in. And hopefully next year I will have the confidence built to plant vegetables. I am feeling like I can do it now that I've successfully kept some of my herbs alive. So one last thing that's coming this fall to this family is a new baby. Morgan and Gavin are expecting a little girl, their first child, our first granddaughter, this fall. So we will make sure we have her, little baby Lucy, her name's Lucy, have her on the vlog when she arrives. I'm being stalked by my rooster, so that's why I keep looking away. He's really mean.